Hey, this is Matt Boggs, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 questions that you can use on a first date, or really any date, to help it be more connected and more ignited. You know, when we go on a date, right, there's always this conversation line that happens, and at some point, it either gets awkward and disconnected, or it gets fun and more connected. So let's first talk about what makes it awkward and disconnected. Usually, this is when you run out of things to say. So many people do this where they just fish for facts. Facts are boring. Facts don't create any newness or any variety. And guess what? Most people, when they go on dates, they fish for facts. Like, what do you do? How long have you been there? Do you have any brothers and sisters? Kind of looks like this. So, where do you work? How long have you worked there? Do you enjoy it? How many brothers and sisters do you have? Where'd you grow up? Sure has been nice weather this week. And the challenge with that is it really doesn't give you a whole lot of information whether or not the person you're on a date with is a good match for you, because facts are really one-dimensional as far as revealing who that person really is. Now, the other mistake that people make, and this was actually more of my style of a mistake, is they get way too intense and they become the interrogator. I would go on dates and women at the end of the date, they would say, God, I feel like I was on a job interview, or like, what do you like work for the FBI? Like, why are you asking me these questions? Kind of feels like this. So, what do you want for your love life? What's your longest relationship been? Why did it end? What do you see for yourself 5 years from now? Do you want kids? What are your religious beliefs? Where do you want to live if you were to ever get married one day? Not a good strategy. Not at all. You can see how that leads to disconnection. So let's talk about a much better strategy to use, and that is asking high quality questions. High quality questions lead to higher quality date experiences in your life, because these kinds of higher quality questions do two things that are great. Number one, they keep things interesting and fun because they're a pattern interrupt. Remember, routine fuels boring. If you've done something over and over and over again, if you've answered the same question 1,000 times, that's boring. But a new question that ignites your imagination keeps it fun and interesting, and therefore generates a better connection. But the other thing that it does when you ask great questions is it helps reveal who the person is that's sitting across from you or sitting next to you on this date. Because facts just lead to their past and what they've done before. But when you're able to ask great questions, that helps to reveal his thinking process, right? What does he value for himself in his life, and what does he want moving forward? What is his future like? When you're able to understand those things on those levels, it's much more revealing about what kind of partner he's going to be for you. So let's dive into these 10 questions and how to use them. The first way that you want to use them is you don't want to use all 10 questions on the first date, or even in one date. It's like too much. It's overwhelming. Just pick a couple that you want to use and use it at a strategic time. So I'll tell you when that time is going to be. The second thing is just be open to his answer, right? These questions are sort of off the wall. So be open and just kind of observe how much he wants to lean into these questions or not, and respect whatever answers he gives. They're supposed to be fun, right? The third tip is to have fun when you're asking these questions. The more fun you make it for yourself, the more fun it's going to be for him on this date. So here's when to use these questions, right? Chances are you've emailed a few times, you've talked on the phone a few times, so you've gotten to know each other a little bit. So when you're meeting on the date, you go through your niceties and you'll say, hey, it's good to see you. How's your day today? What'd you do today? And you kind of go through the beginning. You don't want to use these questions right up front. You want to save these for a little bit later, because eventually the conversation might get to this place where there's a lull in the conversation, as where there's potential like awkward silence and like, well, we're not really connecting. And that's when you want to pull out these interesting questions. And you can use this line. It actually comes direct from the movie Before Sunrise because it's brilliant. And you can say, all right, it's Q&A time. We've known each other a little while now, so let's ask each other a few direct, random questions. And the catch is that you have to answer 100% honestly. Are you game? And you kind of say it like that, a little tongue-in-cheek and playful and fun. And when you preface it like that, that immediately ignites fun and interest into the conversation. It's a total pattern interrupt. Chances are the person you're with has never had anyone say that to them on a date, and so they're like, yeah, I'm game. This is interesting. All right. And then you just pull out one of these questions and fire away. Now, when you ask these questions, chances are they're going to ask you right back what the questions are, and that's going to get the conversation rolling. So let's dive into these 10 questions. Again, pick the ones that resonate with you. You don't have to use all of them, but use them at the right moment, and it's going to go really well. So question number 1 is, when was the first time you remember having a sexual thought? Your first memory of that. And the person's either going to lean into that or they're not. You're going to get a lot of information right out of the gate with that question. Question number 2 is, tell me about your most awkward kiss. What was your most awkward kiss that you've ever had? Question number 3, you can set it up with, okay, here's a random question. What was one of your most favorite vacations growing up as a kid? Question number 4, okay, if you won a $250 million jackpot lottery, what would you do? Question 5, if you could relive one day in your life, which day would you choose and what would you want to experience? Question number 6, I personally love this one because it's off the wall and it's weird and you get a good feeling for what the other person is all about. You say, okay, we're going to give each other rapper names right now, okay? You're going to give me one and I'm going to give you one. What is my rapper name? And you just see what they come up with, right? And then you give them a rapper name. And the more funny, the more off the wall, the better. My rapper name is MB Light to the Nizzy Explicit. MB Doggy Vanilla Icy Explicit Downtown Julie Brown. Matt Boggs. Question 7, if you were told that you had 1 month to live, what would you do? How would you spend that month? Question number 8, tell me this, what's a book or a documentary film that you've either read or watched that had a significant impact on your life? I love that one because I'm a person who loves to grow, I love to read, I love to study, and I also allow myself to be inspired and impacted by things, and so I'm highly interested if someone else is the same way. Question 9, if you could trade lives with one person, could be anyone, for one day, who would it be and what would you want to experience? And question 10, if you could marry any fictional character you've ever seen, who would you marry and why? I think that's awesome. I love that question. I was thinking about that for myself. I think mine would be Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Yeah, man, she is beautiful. The red hair just gets me. The red hair is awesome. Love that. So those 10 questions are really going to support you in creating more connection and more fun on your dates. Go ahead and use them as you wish. Again, pick and choose the ones that resonate with you. And as a gift for you, I've created a guide where I've put together 100 interesting, high-quality questions that you can use when you're dating or in your relationships to create more fun and more connection. So go ahead and click the link in this video or in the description and you go ahead and get access to that guide. I know it's going to serve you greatly. I appreciate you watching. Look forward to connecting to you again soon.